First thing I guess that I'd like to open with, and you'll have to excuse me, I'm going to refer to cheaters to keep my dates correct, so, is that the community here, Depauville, originally known as Catfish Falls, was originally settled about, well, the first mills were very, very rudely constructed, but the first settlement was about 1817, with a grist mill, which was the old mortar and pestle style, where it just was a rise of lift and pounder. It wasn't stones, it wasn't a grinder style, it was just an old pounder style. And so, but the community, of course, originally was an Indian settlement, was just outside that. It's convenient here to cross the rapids. They had well, it was two purposes. The Indians used the trail for their roadway and the waterway, and so they also fished out of the creek, and so their settlement, it was convenient for their settlement here. But potash was a big thing in demand at the time, and so potash, when they would fall the lumber and cut the lumber and send it down creek, they would burn stumps and everything else for the potash and then smuggle it out of here. So the highway from Brownville through Depauville to Clayton Center, into Clayton, to French Creek, was basically an illegal highway to smuggle potash out of private property. And it was, at that time, contracted property, and the people weren't settlers that were here. They were just sort of illegally logging stuff off. And originally known as Catfish Falls. The Indians that lived here were part of the Iroquois Confederacy of the Oneida Nations. They ceded off a chunk of property to Peter Panay in a kind of cagey deal. He knew that the Indian nation, or the Indians that were in French Creek, were superstitious. So he told them, he went to the chief and said, "I had a dream that you gave me this chunk of land." And so the chief and his ceded off a 10-mile square chunk of property. And so we're sitting in the southwest corner of Panay Square.